The first aid kit is an important part of any community rescue pack. There are a variety of first aid kits. You can purchase them in a store. A radio is very important during an emergency to be able to get information. This is a hand crank radio that doesn't need batteries. The crank turns very easily. This one also has a flashlight. Any radio should also be able to get the short wave band. Communications is very important for anyone doing any kind of search and rescue. This here is a handheld shortwave radio, relatively cheap and easy to use. During a disaster, you should make sure you bring plenty of water and food. Lighting is very important. There are a variety of ways to get lighting. This is a normal bike light, and this is a hands-free headlight. The red light is good for using to keep your night vision. Glow sticks are useful because they're cheap and they're easy to carry and give long-lasting light on an average of 4 to 6 hours. Shake them and then crack the tube on the inside and you will have light. You should bring hand sanitizer and iodine for minor cuts and scrapes to keep them from getting infected. Depending on the weather, you may need to bring such things as hand warmers and emergency blankets. Both of these are very cheap and light to carry in your pack. Rubber tubing makes something that is called a soft tourniquet. It's very useful, easy to tie wherever there is a bleeding wound. Oral rehydration salts, which will help people get rehydrated, and some kind of sugar substance for hypoglycemic people. In your pack, you should have a multi-tool, which can be very useful for a variety of things. Also, there's this device which is called the tool, which is useful for turning off gas, electricity, and water main. A crowbar is useful to have for entering places. Triage tape is used to identify victims for further help. The green tape is for walking wounded, those with slight non-life-threatening wounds. The yellow tape is for people that have severe wounds that are not life-threatening. The red tape is for those that have life-threatening injuries or illnesses. The black tape is for those who are dead. Relatively cheap, it's one piece and protects you both from biological and chemical contamination. It's important to cover your hair because that is a place where both biological and chemical contamination can happen. She's putting on rubber boots. Ideally, they would be steel-toed. They're not only useful for protecting your feet against the environments and rubble, but also because of the rubber to protect you and ground you from electrical shocks. Long sleeves are important to cover up as much skin, to protect yourself from scrapes, infections, biological, and chemical contamination. Gloves are important. There are two types, latex and nitrate. These blue gloves are nitrate. They are stronger and many people have latex allergies. To put them on, you blow into them and just slide them on. This will protect your hands from contamination. You can use rubber bands if the gloves are too large to keep them tight and from falling off while you're working. It is good to have a pair of work gloves to protect yourself from sharp objects, and those can be put on over your nitrate gloves. Sometimes you will be working in places where there may be live wires or other chances of electrical shocks. In that case, you would want to use these rubber-coated work gloves. It's very important during community rescue that you are visible at all times. Often there will be power outage and there will be little light. This is a cheap reflective vest which has very high visibility. Hard hats are a very important form of protection. This one is adjustable, which will allow a person to work without it sliding off their head. This is a respirator. This is used to protect yourself from contamination. either from certain gases, particles, and biological contamination. You put it on, it has adjustable straps that fit around the back. Once it's attached, you will put your hands over the valves. Breathe in, it should make a tight seal. Then you will attach the filters that are disposable on the side. The filters are good for 2 to 4 hours. It's important to have a comfortable backpack or other bag to carry all your equipment in. Everything should be able to fit snugly inside that backpack. Now you're ready to go.